Hey, what's up, Jesse? This is a demo video for you for your Rescuer hilt by At Star's End and modified and customized by Nate over at Iron Destiny Props. So this is installed the CFX that you wanted, but before we go over that, this saber, as you know, comes in a raw aluminum kit, and it was first sent off over to Nate over at Iron Destiny Props so that he could make this accurate to the Mandalorian TV show. It would just take a second to look it over. He did a fantastic job on it. This is, I think, the second collaboration that I've had with Nate. So I've got to hold a few pieces of his, and they've all been stellar, just stellar pieces of work. So of course this has the static grenade section on it, and you also have the this is the effects one. So this is the one that's slightly weathered when you look closely at it, and then also you could see it in Nate's video. Some minor paint chipping, all based on some accuracy photos that he saw. Something that you'll probably see better when you get in the mail. But for now, this has the custom Saber Shop Neopixel connector in it, so we try to stay accurate to the show. I do have a blade side PCB in here that never comes out. Okay, we'll put that off to the side. Now the install, like I said, on this guy was pretty easy. I had actually had this install done weeks and weeks ago when you first told me you bought this guy and sent it over to Nate. I had already done one of these, so I printed out the chassis, had it installed and sitting off to the side of my desk. The thing that takes a little while on this is the clamp card. I have this set up to where there's two tactile switches underneath here. So your front switch, that'll be your power. Your back over here is your auxiliary. When this clamp card comes with the kit, it's so thick that it does not fit in here. Nate took it and he filed it down to where it fit, not knowing how I was going to set it up, right? So I had to take it off and refile it down. I'll take it off real quick and show you. Since I put those tactiles underneath it, I have to put it on a belt sander little by little until I get it wafer thin, right? So this is obviously the top of it. If I hold it like this, I mean, you can barely tell the thickness. I sand this guy next to nothing. There he is, it focused in. Super thin, right? So that the tactiles will work. And they work fine now. Let me slide this back in real quick. We'll go over the rest of it. So I've got your red and green LEDs here in the control box. They do blink back and forth, so you'll see that here in a second. If you ever want to get to your board, what you want to do is just take this pummel cap off. So I've got your static pummel cap from Nate right here. I'll put it in your box. I've also got this accurate vintage red button that came with your stuff, so I'll make sure that goes back in your box as well. But just take this off. I have a 22mm Smuggler's Outpost Nano Elite speaker in here, fully enclosed, locked into this speaker holder right here using a stock connector. It does say Solo Sabers on there in Airbrush, but that stays on the pummel. And then if you look back here, you've got access to your SD card, which is what you asked me. So you said SD card only was fine for you, so I made sure that's what you could do. I can pop this out, in and out with my finger, but I usually take a pair of tweezers and pop those in and out, and you can pull the card out and then put it back in very carefully. And that's what you do there. Just a small Smuggler's Outpost emblem right there. I did get all the fonts that you sent me, so I think there's a mixture of yours and K-Sys on here. Okay. Put that back on, lock it down tight. Come over here and unscrew the grenade section. Slide this right off. We'll put this off to the side. This is the chassis I came up with for it. So a few greeblies over here. A little something over here. There's greeblies over here too, so both sides are a little bit different. So it looks like the inside of a mechanism, right? A removable battery setup. You have a 7-pin connector right here. This is not a custom Saber Shop connector though. These are the ones I get from Osh Park. And of course that will make contact with that blade side PCB. All right. Spring side in here for your negative. So let's throw a battery in here real quick.
He doesn't want to go with you.
Snaps in just like that.
He wants your permission.
Turn this light off, you can see your red and green arrows going back and forth, and then this simply just slides right on and locks all the way down. All right, and you can see your arrows going back and forth here. Come over here to the front, hit power. Auxiliary is back here. And we'll turn it off and throw a blade in. This is set up for a full-length blade, but I'm going to use my little TriStar test blade. Normally on this kit, when you want to put a blade in, you would come over here and unscrew this emitter. I'll just show you real quick. So you would unscrew this all the way, and located inside this piece would be four different grub screws for your blade retention. I like what Nate did on this at your request, and instead of using that setup, he went with a very small grub screw on the very tip of the emitter right here for blade retention. That makes it very easy to take your blade, push it down, and lock it down. If you were to do it the other way, you kind of have to get your blade at the exact right depth, and then lock it down, and then screw it on. But this makes it super easy. That's a very small grub screw, so it's out of the way. It's not an eyesore. A good flash on flash. Blade lock up, just holding it down, right? We'll go to another one.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
On this setup, if you want to trade sound fonts and you don't want to go to the sound font menu, just hold down the power and hit the saber.
Master Skywalker.
And that trades sound fonts right there. I believe you have 3 on here.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
Of course, to get your battery meter at any time when the blade is off, you would just tap auxiliary. But because this is a test blade, it's not really going to show you everything that's going on. All right, so we'll trade the sound font one more time.
Master Skywalker.
Just like that. All right, we'll go ahead and take the blade out. But everything is working in here like it should. We're taking the battery out real quick, which is really easy to do. Of course, you know on CFX you don't have to. It does have a deep sleep, but if you want to, come over here. It's very easy to do from the positive side right here by your Neopixel connector. You can pop it out with your finger just like that. All right, and that is basically your Rescuer hilt by Anakin Starkiller over at Star's End, and then customized by Nate over at Iron Destiny Props and installed by yours truly. Let me know if you have any questions, and if not, I could probably hold on to this, or I will hold on to this for you if you want me to, until you get back from vacation. All right, buddy? Thanks.